Guys, one of the things that I discussed with you last night is that NIO just officially opened a segment for battery production, which is something that is very, very good. You will know that the NIO CEO has been talking about in-house development of chips and batteries, and seeing NIO opening a segment for battery producing, it's just so great. NIO's biggest producer for battery is CATL, and CATL is the world's, or one of the world's biggest producers for batteries for EVs, right? Which, knowing that NIO is in partnership with CATL, very very soon, who knows, maybe the end of this year, we are going to see NIO producing or starting to produce their own batteries, which will make them or give them even a much better gross margin over 20%. Now, the reason why I'm giving you that intro or that background of what I just gave you last night is, well, BYD, as seen on the screen, you'll notice that they have slashed their prices of their cars by up to 35%. Now, when you talk about fierce competition in China, it's real. And what caused that fierce competition is things like this, right? I mean, BYD is selling a lot of cars, but if they are going and slashing 35% of the prices on their cars, it means serious competition, right? I said this is going to bring some more fierce competition because BYD in China is selling cars like crazy. Last year, BYD alone sold over 4 million cars, and I'm telling you, this is the car brand that is doing the most, even not only in China, but I think on a global scale. It's one of the car company doing the most, and if they are introducing or they've introduced a 35% price cut on their models or up to 35%, it's going to seriously also bring some challenge onto the other new energy vehicle car makers. And one of the things that makes BYD to be able to do this, you will remember BYD make their own batteries. BYD is making their own casting material for their cars. Most of what they use for their cars, they are building in-house. But EV car makers like NIO, though they've started building some of their chips, some of their parts they use for their cars in-house, it is still not, they are still not yet at the level where BYD is at, because BYD is already producing their own batteries, but there is no other EV car maker or Chinese EV car maker that is producing their own batteries, which this is something that is not good. But there is a big but when you look into NIO. Look, in as much as of course BYD can of course slash their car prices, which will of course in some way increase sales that they make. But for NIO, remember, it's not only just about the price, right? Yes, price does play, but it's also about the quality. It's also about the technology in the cars. I mean, yes, BYD has got one or two models that are technology-wise, they're pretty top-notch, but majority of the cars that they are selling, you cannot compare them to NIO cars. You cannot compare them to the kind of cars that NIO is building, the service, after sale service, right? And this is one of the things that will make, of course, EV makers like NIO to always do well. Yes, they might end up having to adjust the prices on their new models based off what BYD just did, because slashing price by 35%, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I don't think even if the other new energy vehicle car makers like NIO, if they are to follow BYD's footsteps, they can afford to cut so much onto cars, right? But again, let's wait, let's see what transpires. But NIO, because of the kind of cars they are building, because of the options they have for bus, battery as a service, it will make them to obviously continue to win. Yes, BYD is the car maker doing the most. I mean, they sold more than Tesla last year in terms of new energy vehicle sales, right? But we can still expect great things to come from EV makers or car makers like NIO, because can I tell you something? NIO continues to show itself the kind of a market segment is at. Regardless of the fierce competition in China, these car brands like NIO will continue doing very well. I mean, I'm reminded of what happened last year during the same fierce competition where car makers were dropping discounts or giving massive discounts onto their cars. Mercedes, BMW ended up saying that, you know what, we are not going to drop down the prices any further. In fact, we are going back to original prices, which in as much as yes, they did not sell that much, or they did not sell as anticipated, but they continue selling. At the end of the day, also the product matter. And I'm not saying BYD is not making good products. Their products are great, but of course Neo is on another level, right? In terms of greatness, in terms of the product that they are making. I mean, the CEO of Neo has done a lot of tests. He has done a lot of safety tests demonstrating to the world to say that, look, our cars, when you buy cars, it's not just cars, but these are cars that are quite safe for you to use, which is absolutely great and amazing. And it makes me to look forward and positive to what we might see coming from. So yeah, man, I am very happy. I'm excited. Blue Sky is coming, long term will win. I thought I come and give you these quick updates because someone, like I said, they dropped me this and said, what do I think? And this is what I think. Yes, it might lead into EV makers like Neo maybe also trying to adjust. But Neo's products, the way after sales services for Neos are, I think for now we cannot worry that much, but it's definitely going to make them go to the drawing board to see how best they can try to compete with that, because BYD doing this, it's definitely going to make them or bring them more sales. But the biggest question is now, how much gross margins are they really making when they are cutting their brands or their vehicles prices by 35%? And what led into this? Is it because they are not selling as much? Is it because competition is also becoming tough for them? I don't know, but let's wait. Let's see what transpires, what happens. And the material that they are using, is it of good quality, top quality? Because at the end of the day, the user experience is the one thing that will make or will determine if BYD continues doing well in the future or not. Meaning that if they are somehow compromising on their quality when they are building their cars, it's going to end up biting them back again in the future, because people will always take comment that comes from the users, right? Before one decides on which car brand to buy, they will always take comments or recommendations from the people that are actually using the kind of cars they are wanting to buy, which is always good. So I just hope it's not compromising the quality, the 35% drop, and it's fairly based on maybe their systems improving or the cost of them building the products maybe becoming cheaper. I don't know, but let's wait, let's see. But this definitely, it's going to bring some fierce competition, and I'm quite sure that other EV makers will start also adjust their prices. But if Neo will adjust, that will be determined by time. Let's wait, let's see what happens. But this is what we are seeing. This is what we read. Blue Sky is coming, long term will win. That's all from me, and God bless you all.